Trying to film a serious scene here and the cat's in the background throwing up. So there's a 0% chance of flying today. Winds have been gusting over 25 throughout the day. It's cold, it's cloudy, it's just a gross day, but I have a different plan in mind. Okay, so this little guy right here is called the Roadrunner. This is a relatively new wing by Ozone, and I use the term wing loosely because this is a wing you're not actually allowed to fly. It says right on the website, do not fly this wing. It's not designed to carry a load. And I was kind of thinking, you know, they probably just say that for a liability reason, but I also have a little bit of an inside scoop, and it's the truth. Don't actually fly this wing. It might just tear and drop you from the sky. And you might be thinking, why the heck would you want to buy a wing that you can't fly? This wing is designed specifically for kiting, and kiting is a huge, vital part of learning to fly and keeping your skills up to par. Ozone introduced this product kind of as a middle ground, or I should say a stepping stone. It's a wing designed specifically for kiting to be easier to kite, to prepare you for the full-size larger gliders. And I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I've never actually tried kiting one myself, and I figured today it's blowing McNarly outside, we may as well pull this thing out of the package and go see how it actually handles in high winds. So check out these risers. It's a very simple 2-line setup, I would say. Brake toggle is just like any other brake toggle, magnetic. Ooh, very nice. You got your pulley and your clip-in point, pretty standard stuff. So I want this video to be a really good, true first impressions. Like all my wing videos, I want to tell you both the good things and the bad things, so stick around for those impressions, but here's my super short and sweet salesman pitch. I have the Roadrunner for sale on my web store as well as kiting harnesses. If you enjoyed this video, you think this wing is a good fit for you and you want to support this channel, hit me up, info@tuckergott.com. Placing an order like that really helps support this channel, and I appreciate all the support you guys have shown thus far. Now back to the video. You little stinker. You just threw up all over the floor, 3 different places. Don't act like you're not guilty. Okay, so the most recent data from the local weather station, which is usually really accurate, is 7 gusts 22, and there's reported gusts over 30 in the past 2 hours. These are definitely not conditions I would ever go out and fly in. Probably not normally kite a full-size glider in, but we're gonna see how the Roadrunner handles. Hopefully it goes well. I'm a little bit scared. It just blew my door shut. Hangers are freaking going crazy over there. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so here we go. First impressions, I have to say, I'm a little bit nervous about the wind speed, particularly when it gusts. It's pretty freaking strong. Okay, I feel like we're on a lull. Let's give her a shot. There she is. Hey, that's not too bad. Yeah, she's pulling on the gusts. Little asymmetric collapse. That's cool. They put a warning label right on the wingtip that says, "Do not fly." Let's see if she'll do a wingtip touch. Oh, nice. Very nice. Bring her back over. And yes. Very nice. Sick. You. Oh. Big air. Pretend the wind has become too strong. I want to disable the wing
and take it out. Reach up, grab the rears, and she comes down. I like to run towards her and grab the wingtip. Holy mackerel! I'm breaking a sweat.
Alright, initial first impressions, I got the roadrunner thrown behind my seat. I was honestly a little bit worried about getting dragged across the field because it's so windy, but she handled it really well. I would say what it is right now, gusting upwards of 20, is probably right around the safe limit of what you should kite this wing in. At times on the gusts, I was getting lifted. I was also a little bit worried that it might be too dumb, too simple, that you won't really learn proper glider control, but I would say that wasn't really the case. In some of the turbulence I was getting, I was experiencing asymmetric deflations or frontals. The wing will pitch into the wind like a full-size glider, and that's important because that teaches a student when they have to time their brake pressure to prevent their wing from collapsing in those surges. I'm headed over to site number 2, which is on one of the local lakes. So I'm gonna go over there and I have an idea. There's a park bench that's pretty much situated into the wind. I kind of want to see if I can teach a park bench how to kite. All right, so here we are at the spot. Water is glistening behind me. Winds are howling all around. Let me show you the setup. So I've got the wing clipped into the park bench. The glider is laid out over there. Only problem is there's a tree. That tree wasn't on Google Maps, but it's there in real life. So I'm gonna have to kind of navigate around the tree. Inevitably, I'm sure I'm gonna get the glider caught up in the tree at some point, but this should be a good experiment. Can we teach a park bench how to kite? I can't believe it freaking kind of worked. My brake line kept snagging on the bench, so I'm gonna try this again. Okay, so for what it's worth, the park bench didn't do a bad job on its first kiting lesson. What I was really hoping for is that the winds would be laminar enough coming off the water that the wing would just sit there and be stable and I could walk away and Mr. Bench could be cutting all by himself. But that's not the case. The winds are extremely rowdy and I think even higher at this location here. All right, so I've decided to get out of here. The park closes in 15 minutes, and I want to get out before I get kicked out or get yarded into a tree. Let's wrap this one up. I want to give kind of a conclusion of who this wing is good for, what I like about it, and what I dislike about it. Okay, so who is this wing for? Let's start at the bottom and kind of work our way up. I can see someone that doesn't have any interest in actually flying a paramotor, getting one of these and kiting them just for fun. Let's say you have like a massive fear of heights, but you enjoy watching these videos, you have interest in the sport, You don't actually want to get your feet off the ground, but you want to understand kiting. Second, someone who is planning on getting into the sport. Maybe you have your training booked, you got to wait a couple months, but you want to get a jump start on your learning. Especially if you pair this wing with Aviator Paramotor's kiting video, which I'll link down below or up here somewhere. They made a really good long video all about how to kite. And if you sat down and watched that, you understood the fundamentals, then you went outside on a mild day, less than 10 miles per hour of wind, and started feeling out your kiting, you could really get a jump start on your training. And then you'd probably be the star student, show everyone up because you already know how to handle a wing. Now, the third person I can see this wing being good for is pretty much any paramotor pilot in existence. Kiting is really a fundamental skill, and even after you've become a pilot, it's always good to go out and kite on days that are a little windy. And the good thing about a wing like this is that you're not putting your main flying wing through all the stress that cutting involves. Normally, cutting involves dragging through some grass, maybe getting a little wet, and quite possibly doing it in the middle of the day when the UV rays are the strongest. So using a roadrunner, you're able to protect your primary wing and extend its life. Okay, let's talk about pros and cons briefly. I think it really does fit in that category where it is a good stepping stone. It's not so easy that you're not gonna ever learn anything from it, but it also doesn't have a lot of the characteristics that jumping into a full-size wing kind of brings and intimidates you. Cons of this wing. First one's kind of obvious, you can't fly it. Not that you would really want to fly it, I don't suspect it would have really great performance even if it was actually built to sustain that kind of load. Another con is it didn't come with a stuff sack. So like you saw in my little time lapse, it took me a little bit of time to fold up the wing and get it back into its original bag. Final con is, I guess, just the price. This wing is $1,299, which is significantly less than your actual flying wing. But at the same time, it's a significant chunk of change. Now, obviously, a wing like the Roadrunner is not a mandatory stepping stone for you to get into the sport. I think it's a really, really helpful stepping stone, and if you have it in your budget, you can afford it, by all means go for it. You may as well stack all the odds in your favor. So I guess that's all my pros and cons. Like I mentioned, if you want to get this wing, if you like what you see, hit me up, info@tuckergott.com, and I can help you out. If you have no interest, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun tying the wing to a park bench. If you've watched till now, I appreciate your support. Drop a like down below if you are watching, and I guess I will see you guys in the next episode. Till then, fly safe, have fun, peace.